Welcome back, part 2, questions to Nutnfancy. I'm actually having a good time with this. I didn't think I would. I was kind of dreading it, actually. I'll be honest with you. Because I knew there would be a lot of information I have to throw in there. I want to represent all issues fairly and honestly, answering the questions. But I'll tell you, I'm having a good time with it. So far, so good. Next question. Thanks for watching, by the way. Questions to Nutnfancy. Hey, Nutnfancy, where's so-and-so in the project? Someone you saw early on in TNP. Lots of different answers for that, actually. But I do want to preface it with a very honest observation, and it is how I run it as the director of the Nutnfancy project. I'm very particular and have to be about the personalities that I throw in front of the camera these days. And I wasn't that way early on in the project. I was actually kind of willy-nilly about it. And just like everything in TNP, I've learned as I've gone along through the school of hard knocks, through certain experiences. Be careful who you throw in front of the camera. Be careful who you roll out. And I'm not going to throw names out there or say this happened, that happened. I'm just broad stroking it. First off, I want their motives to be pure. Okay? From a director standpoint. From a friend standpoint, I want them to be pure. I want you to, if you come out, I want you just to come out because you enjoy the friendship. Okay? You're not looking to promote yourself, to sell products, to build your channel in YouTube. I don't like that stuff. I hate it. To me it's disingenuous. It's just artificiality that, in my opinion, transmits to the video. And I've got back to post-production before, and I look at the video and I go, that's a really artificial vibe from that dude, and I'm not posting it. True statement. I'm particular about my personalities that I roll in. I want them to be fun. I want them to be outgoing. I want them to mesh with me personally well. Okay, that's critical. I mean, they got to get my really off-the-wall sense of humor, my sarcasm, how I roll, that if you haven't noticed, I mean, I'll go from being funny to being serious, back and forth. I mean, it's like, within a millisecond, I'm making a very serious gear observation, and then a second later, I come back and I'm slamming this guy, or I'm making fun of this thing, and he's slamming me and coming back. I like that dynamic. PFI dude's a great example. He gets it. That's why he's still in TNP. He gets it. And they have to be able to take my lead, because it doesn't work if they want to put themselves in the driver's seat. Project will derail. And I've seen that, attempts at that a couple times. Hey, you know what? Cool, man. Let's do it this way. I'm like, hey, cool, man. No. That's the route to failure. And how do you say that, tactfully? And again, I'm not talking about personalities here. I'm just talking broad strokes, things I've learned over 3 years of doing this. Okay, with lots of different people, lots of different interactions, and just stuff I've learned. Another thing is I have to be careful because I'll throw those people on the camera and you'll get attached to them. And maybe they won't be able to come back again. Bucket Nuster is a perfect example. I mean, he's so busy with his military stuff, with his life, with his small kids, with his wife, that it's hard for him to break away and come here. And I know there's a lot of fans to Bucket Nuster, and our interactions as longtime friends is genuine and interesting to people, but it's hard to bring him back. And I kind of learned that be careful who you roll in, because people may get attracted, not attracted, that sounds wrong, but they may get attached to that person and want to see him more, and because the schedules can't happen, it creates pressure for me. Hey, where's so-and-so? Sorry. But I'm just being honest with you guys, is I want it to be that type of personality. And also loyal to the Nutnfancy project. That, in my opinion, if you're a crew member in TNP, that's what I want you to do primarily if you're in the electronic internet world. Because I need your help. Because it's, again, a single-man show on this end, and I need your help. I'd like you to jump into comments and answer and represent our efforts together. That's what I'd like. But sometimes, again, being totally honest, people's circumstances totally change. Yabachi moved out of state, gone. Will you see these people again? Perhaps. It just depends. And again, I want that fun mix of personalities, and competence levels too, because I want them to be good. Let's say we're doing a shoot. I want them to be good, to be able to hit the target, to represent the systems well, To me, that's interesting. It's helpful data-wise too, because that's video I can use. You know, if I roll in a piece with a guy shooting a gun and he doesn't connect, you know, at all out of a whole magazine full, then the comments will go, well, that gun sucks. Well, then I'm in that unusual position. Well, not really. The gun didn't suck. Well, you're saying the shooter sucks? Well, you're slamming the shooter, you know, and it's a lose-lose situation for me. Better to just have someone who can shoot, hit the target, whether it's me, whether it's PFI, whether it's PFI dad. You know, shoot and hit. That's video I can use, you know. We're representing the product, we're testing the product. Doesn't mean I don't show misses, but I'm just saying, remember, we're product testing here. Other people may roll back in, just depends. But people are busy, they have their own jobs, they don't pay the bills like me with their YouTube thing. They're fitting it in the spare time and for fun. But that's what I look for. People who do it for pure motive, for fun, and as a friend to me personally. If that happens, if that foundation is there, everything else will take care of itself. Seriously, it will. Hey, Nutnfancy, I would love to be your cameraman on your next backpacking trip. I'd love to be your crew member. Is there any way I can hook up with you and go out and adventure and be part of the Nutnfancy project? Oh, I've gotten this request a lot, and I thank the guys that are always sending it along. Thank you so much. And again, I'm going to just totally level with you guys. It generally won't work out just because of scheduling, because of where you live. It just won't. And then everything else I just said about crew members also plays, you know, because I don't know you personally. There's no way electronically I can detect what your motives are. Sorry, there's all kinds of motives. You know, hey, Nutnfancy, can I be your cameraman? Yeah, come on out. He's a cameraman. Hey, by the way, I sell such and such. Okay, there's the real motive. You know, they want the promotion of the TNP camera, which, by the way, I pretty much gatekeep that pretty hard. You know, I don't let anything get in front of the camera that I don't personally approve of. And there's lots of attempts at that. Hey, can I do this? You know, I've seen it from people who you've seen on camera. They're trying to promote these things artificially and make money from the Nutnfancy project. Don't get me wrong, making money's fine, but there's a right way to do it and there's a wrong way to do it. And the wrong way is gratuitous and not delivering value. Okay, so back to the cameraman request. It doesn't work out with schedule. I actually tried to use a guy in Armed Serenity 2009 as a cameraman. He was one of these guys, like, dude, I'll come up, totally run your camera for you. So I was like, okay. You know, I went back and forth and talking with him. I think phone conversations too. Got a vibe for the individual. Again, this was earlier in the project. A little bit more naive then. And, you know, at the last moment he bailed. Because of his personal schedule. You know, it just, things conspired against him. Again, that's the reality of it. It sounds good, pie in the sky, but it's probably not going to work. Okay? And there's a lot of other things that come into play too. If I'm talking about cameraman, I need someone who's really good. Okay, the manipulation of the camera is critical to the Nutnfancy project. Critical. There's certain angles I like. We're getting to the creative side. The camera can be funny. The way you run the camera and what you're showing, you know, the smoothness, the manipulation of the controls, the brightness settings, all that stuff. It's a lot harder than you would think. And people get it more often wrong than they do get it right. And it takes me a while to train someone to use a camera the way I like to use it. You know, and that's what it is. It's my you know, my vision of the video product. You know, PFI dude's another good example. He gets it. He's a good cameraman now. You know, and it took a while. This is a shot. Come down here, do that, and he gets it. And also just assisting the Nutnfancy project. I really appreciate the offers. It's tough though. It's difficult. You know, are you willing to buy an airline ticket to fly in, hotel, rental car for one day of shooting? Come on. It won't work, you know. And again, we get to the personality thing. Will it mesh? You know, that person comes out, it doesn't mesh. Maybe it's a result in a video that I'm just not proud of. Okay, I appreciate it. Probably won't work. Hey, Nutnfancy, what's your tactical background? What training have you done? Okay, getting into a criticism. I don't hear this too much occasionally. I mean, seriously, after what, 775 videos, that if the individual is asking this question, You know, they're asking it from a point of view of trying to belittle the Nutnfancy project, to disqualify my point of view. I want to talk about ego. That's an ego-based attack right there. I've seen it from a lot of individuals. Not just in the YouTube environment, but in my professional life, I've seen that type of attitude of, you know, the chest coming out, well, I've done this and I've done that and I'm cool. You know, you're not as cool as I am because I've done this. Oh, shut up. Come on. I don't play those games. You know, forever I kept my military association completely under wraps. You know, I finally came out with it. Video proof, no less. You know, me flying the jet. There, take that. There's your reality check for you. I shut the critics up real quick. Oh, I guess you are in the military. Oh, I guess you are a lieutenant colonel. Oh, well, we'll find something else to criticize you about. You know, what's your tactical background? Generally, these are guys, you know, just trying to, you know, get a leg up on Nutnfancy. And I keep it vague. Purposely, just like I did my military association. Why did I keep my military association vague? Because I didn't want guys going into my unit. You know, oh, that's a unit? Well, I'm going to go in the unit, and then, you know, they find out all this information, and they make videos about it and do that. I just didn't want it. And I don't want it to be the focus. You know? And plus, I stick up for the civilian shooter, too, getting to the shooting side of the house. You know, a lot of times guys act like, well, you know, I was Joe military, and because I served 3 tours in Iraq and I did this and I'm a real badass and stuff. Guess who the worst shooters I shoot with? Guys like that. The blowhards that talk a big game. I take them out, put them under a little stress, and they fall apart. I've seen it in classes too. Yes, I've taken some classes. And I just go, dude, you suck. You were talking a pretty big game. Oh, here's a good story. I remember one guy. This is when I did a concealed carry shoot back years ago. Long, like two decades ago. It was actually in 92. And the guy shows up and he has this brace gun with a red dot on it. And you have to shoot for qualification. And he's, you know, a big military guy. And he's like, yeah, I did this. And he's like, well, so what have you done? I was like, I don't know. At the time, I didn't really have much to say. I was like, I just got out of pilot training, you know. And he goes up to shoot and he can't hit the broadside of a barn with his IPSC gun. True story. You know, at the time I had my SIG 226, threw it on up there. Bam, 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 bam. You know, I don't know. Group like that. Then we move back to 15 yards, group like that. He's like this, all over the place. What does he say? Oh, yeah, man, this sight's off, you know. I don't know what, I should have checked it. And I'm like, uh-huh, right. Dude, I've seen that so many times. This is the same attitude, you know. Guys who are asking that are trying to disqualify you. You know, I've participated in military competitions. I've had training on this level, that level. And I'll just leave it at that. You know, there's other stuff I don't want to make public at this time. Should be enough. I mean, seriously, 775 videos, all the shoot and run and gun I'm doing. If you watch those and go, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. Just, come on. Come on. Are you seriously saying that? Safety-wise, proficiency-wise, you would actually say that? I'm not saying that in an ego way. I'm just saying it factually. That you come away from the video going, oh, this guy's a boob. You're lying. Come on, man. You know, what tactical background? Who cares? Best shooters I've ever shot with are pure civilian. They rock, man. What PFI do? It's a good shooter. You know, what's his tactical background? Hey, have you served in Iraq? Are you special operations? Who gives a crap?
There you go.
And I'm not saying that to belittle the guys that have. I'm saying it that as a means to puff your chest out and act like you're better than everybody else. We don't do that in TNP. I've never done that. Be real. Hey, what channels do you watch when you're having fun in YouTube? Good question. I really don't. I'll throw a DVD in and watch that, but occasionally I'll jump on YouTube and I'll go to some fun channels. Kev Jumba. I'll watch that guy. He's hilarious. Music videos. I'll watch them, and that's about it. Once in a while, I'll click on a gear review. Once in a while. Yeah, friends. Friends of mine that have done gear reviews. I'll just go check them out. Throw a comment down when I can get some time. That's fun. Hey, Nutnfancy, this so-and-so broke on me. You suck. Because you said it was awesome. And it broke. Whatever it is. A gun, a knife. I'm sorry that it broke on you. But again, we're talking statistical stuff here. That I can do my own data point on a certain item. Doesn't mean it's going to work for you. I mean, it's maybe if I'm really lucky, I have a data point of 3. Okay, and I'll use the kel-tec PF9 as a source for that. You know, I've ran 3 PF9s really hard in the project. All 3 have been awesome for me. Accurate, reliable, no breakages. I think I've had a few stoppages and break-in. Other than that, pretty darn good. You know, and other people have said, hey, you know, my PF9 wasn't great. Well, you know, there's some variances there. You know, was it the quality control for your batch maybe dropped a notch or two? Could happen. Not just with that manufacturer, with all manufacturers. I've heard problems with SIGs, Glocks, XDs, XDMs, Berettas, you know, Walthers. They all have issues. I just do the best I can, giving you the data. And I'll transfer that in my tabletop review. I'll say, this is what happened. I keep it real like I always do. I try to be honest. Those are my data points. And there's a lot of other good reviewing voices out there. I mean, Shotgun News, awesome. Great stuff in Shotgun News. American Rifleman of the NRA, they have great reviewers. I respect those guys a lot. A lot of them out there, so I don't, you know, puff myself up and say, oh, you know, my data point's the best. I don't think so at all. It's just my data point. That's all it is. However, I will say this. Generally, the stuff that I've reviewed positively from the feedback I get from you guys functions pretty good. I get a lot of positive feedback. Hey, guess what? It rocks and rolls for me too, Nutnfancy. Thanks a lot. And these days I put a lot of effort, a lot of ammo downrange to test as best I can. And guess what? That ammo expense comes out of my pocket. That's right, from, better said, the TNP pocket is what it comes out of. You know, I try to make it self-supporting, you know, being a partner in YouTube, but that's where it comes from. All right, let's see. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Let me see if I can fit this in now. I'm going to try. Hey, Nutnfancy, why do you do TNP? What is your motivation? Are you trying to make money? Are you trying to be famous? Are you trying to be cool? Do you get off seeing yourself on camera? You know, do you really get off on, you know, becoming a star or whatever? What's your motivation? That's a fair question, and I'm probably going to surprise you with the answer. Okay, and to answer it, I'm going to refer you to another video that I found in YouTube, which I think is awesome. The video is called The Surprising Truth About What Motivates Us. Watch that video, please. I repeat, watch that video. It has like 5 million views this month. It's going to get more. Excellent video. It's a cartoonist illustrating a guy's talk. And he's talking about just that. Why are we motivated to do the things we do? Guess what? It's not about money. They did a study, and he talks about it in the video several times about, hey, you know what? We're going to pay you more money if you make more of these widgets. Okay, in the various studies they did, that if the task was very simple and mechanical, that if they threw more money at the individuals, the participants, the workers, they would produce more widgets, that they could get more production out of them. However, if it involved even basic / rudimentary skill levels of cognitive thinking, creative thinking, for instance, it was like inversely related. The more money they threw at these people, the worse they performed. What? Yep, watch the video. The worse they performed, the more money they threw at them, it sucked. And they're like, well, this study can't be right. Let's take it over to India. They did the same study over to India. Same result. Hey, we'll give you a huge bonus if you do this creatively. If you can come out with a way to improve our process in this. Didn't work. Okay, and what they found is that if you backed off from the money aspect, you want to pay enough people, and I'm talking about this video, if you pay them enough money so they don't have to worry about putting food on the table, paying gas, buying groceries, all that stuff, and they're freed up from the, the worries of life, then they can concentrate over here, and you back off and let them do their thing and give them some breathing room and some ability to be creative, great things happen. Great things happen. And he gives some examples in that video. What it comes down to is that people are motivated not so much by money, but by autonomy, that they're in control of what they're doing. Okay, and I'm kind of quoting what the speaker in this video said. Mastery, that they want to get better at it, and then purpose. What's your purpose? Why do you do the Nutnfancy project? That video answers it exactly. Okay, and in the video they make a good example. They're like, you have all these high-paid technical professionals, they're using this in the video example, who give their time freely to make a product that helps and inspires hundreds of thousands of people. They use Wikipedia as an example, and they give it away freely. Why? Again, autonomy, mastery, and purpose. They like that. They like that they're helping people. They have jobs. They get paid from their other jobs. They're not doing it for money. They're doing it for free. They're putting 20, 30 hours a week in, or if you're like me, they're putting in 80 hours a week for the Nutnfancy project, and I don't make a dime from it. Not a dime from the Nutnfancy project. It's all free. I give it to you free. Guys have rolled in and said, dude, you need to charge for this. No, I don't. It's not why I'm doing it. I have a job. I have ways of making income, and YouTube ain't it. That's not what motivates me. Being a partner in the Nutnfancy project does not motivate me. In other words, in YouTube, doesn't motivate me. Getting free gear doesn't motivate me. I don't do it for that. If I never got another piece of gear in my life, it'd be too much. It'd be too soon. I don't do it. I don't seek it. I don't work those angles. That's not what motivates me. Autonomy, that motivates me, just like in that video. That I'm free to do what I want in the Nutnfancy project. I can have a vision. I can actually visualize it. I can see how the video is going to go. I can picture the views I'm going to have, and I'm talking like the vistas of the mountains that I want to do, the music I'm going to put to it. It's creatively energizing for me. Okay, no one is dictating that. I'm doing it here from the heart. Okay, and then mastery. I'm trying to get better at it. I want to be better. I want the video product to be more inspirational, more moving, more informational, more truthful, more helpful, getting to the purpose motive for hundreds of thousands of people across the world. That's what motivates me. Throw down a video like Workers Are Few, Some Kind of Good, Nation of Riflemen. I like that. It fills me up inside. I don't do it for any other reason than that. Connecting with you. That's what motivates me. I look forward to it. I feel gratified when the product comes out and it's well received. Not for ego, but it's a fulfillment of purpose for me. It's a fulfillment of purpose. And that's why I do the Nutnfancy project. It's a creative outlet for me, and I love it. You guys know I'm sincere. I'm not making this up. It has nothing to do with money. It has nothing to do with fame. If I could do all of this and never be in front of the camera, I would love that. I would. I just can't do it. I don't have a staff. I don't have other people. I don't have the time to direct the staff. It's not a production studio. It's me. It's a one-person show. A couple cool quotes came out of that video. He goes, "If you do something cool, I'll give you $2,500." Is what he said in the video, and they couldn't do anything cool. Not motivated by money. Used a software company in that video. Is called Atlassian. It's an Australian software company, and they said, you know what? One day per quarter, we're going to let you do whatever you want. We're not going to mess with you. Just tell us what you did. And most of their success has come from that one day when they back off and let the employees do whatever. There's no money involved at all. They're like, hey, you have the company resources. They had most of their software fixes generated from that one day. No money involved. Very important point, by the way. Kind of what I said in Workers Are Few. Remember? I said, don't go after the money. Do what you enjoy. Do a great job. The money will follow. Again, that concept coming back. It's funny. The circle is complete. What they create, they give away for free. These are people who are technically sophisticated, good jobs, and they give it away for free. That's a Nutnfancy project. I enjoy it. It's fun. Has it become work for you, Nutnfancy? Yes, it's become work. But I balance it constantly. And it is a lot of pressure. I ain't going to lie to you. Running the Nutnfancy project is a tremendous amount of pressure for me. On these two shoulders, it all rests. Right here. And Verolina's helping me out too. But I just shrug it off. I blow it off, and I haven't changed. I'm the same as I was always. Doesn't go to my head. I don't think, oh, I'm so cool now. Who cares? Doesn't matter. And again, look down the road. 10, 20 years from now, don't do anything you're going to regret. I don't change. It's just the same as it's always been. Just trying to improve the product. That's it. Dig your balls in good. I will tell you, it is work. It's a lot producing videos. It's a lot doing the pre-production study, product testing, product acquiring. Buying and selling the gear is just a full-time job in and of itself. It really is. And Luckily, I got PFI as an outlet now, so when I sell gear, I throw it up on his website. Like, dude, here you go. And he'll just sell it for me. And it generates more revenue, so I can buy more gear. Production of the videos, it's a lot of work. Contacting, all the errands required, shipping stuff off. I could go on and on. It's exhausting. But I'll tell you this, I love being busy. I got a great work ethic, and it just keeps on shrugging along. And then when I get done with a video series, like the kel-tec shoot, I'm just using that as an example because it's current now. I lean back and in the editing chair and I go, I like it. It's fun. It's fun. I love the people who came out with that. And by the way, that was a great mix in that crew. Great mix. Chad rocked. He just fit in so well. What a fun time we had. It was everything I had envisioned in pre-production. And when that happens, the planets align. It's totally worth it. And then when I see your guys' reception of it and I connect with people, then my purpose is fulfilled. It's gratifying. It really is. I don't even know where I'm at on time. Probably crazy over. All right, that's just a few questions to Nutnfancy. That was the end of part 2. I might do some more in the future if I see a trend. Total honesty, guys. I'm just leveling with you. Thank you so much for everything you do for me, for the comments, the support, for the support you give my hardworking secretary, Vera Linus, who needs a secretary of her own by now. And I really appreciate it. This is Nutnfancy signing off. We'll see you in the comments. We'll see you in the videos. And the project keeps motoring on out.